Hi guys, Sarah and Celia here. Today we are going to be sharing with you 5 things I wish I had known about being a new mom. And this is kind of what I wish I could go back and tell myself while I was pregnant about motherhood. And obviously these tips might be different. Like if you already have kids, you might not agree with some of these, but just based on my own experience, these are 5 things I wish I had known. So hopefully this can help you if you don't have kids yet, or if you're expecting another and you've kind of forgotten what it's like. Maybe this can help. And I'm definitely not trying to be negative about motherhood. I think motherhood is amazing and I feel so blessed. And not all these are negative, but I definitely had an idealistic picture of what motherhood would be like going into it. I thought, oh, maternity leave, I'll just, feed my baby, put her down, go do whatever, get a bunch of stuff done, or wear her and get a bunch of stuff done. It'll be easy. And well, a lot of that is true. It's definitely not at all what I had pictured it would be. So if I could go back, these are 5 things I would tell myself. The very first thing, and I would say most important thing I would tell myself, is that breastfeeding does not always come naturally. Before the birth of our baby, I had spent all this time taking these Bradley method classes for 12 weeks, preparing for the birth, and I just didn't think motherhood was something I should prepare a lot for. I figured I'll figure it out, which I have, but breastfeeding is something I definitely wish I would have spent more time preparing for. I had planned on taking classes on it, but with the winter in Minnesota and we're living way out in the middle of nowhere, I ended up, once it got canceled, and another time I just didn't want to drive through the snow, and so I didn't go. And yes, those are legitimate excuses for not going, but I just wish I would have sucked it up and gone anyway, because it would have been really beneficial to us. And my breastfeeding story is basically that when I was in the hospital, I had extreme excruciating pain. I would even say the pain of breastfeeding for me was worse than the birth. And I've come to find out now that a lot of people have pain for the first few weeks. And then a lot of times it goes away. I don't know that mine would have, had I not done what I'm going to share with you that I did to help with the pain. But what the lactation consultant said in the hospital is that our baby has a great latch, but it's probably the fact that I'm a fair-skinned redhead. They typically see really raw, bleeding, cracked, chapped, skin flaking off with breastfeeding, and that I should just suck it up. And I got to a point with the sleep deprivation in the hospital and trying to feed her every 2 hours and just having the worst pain the entire time I fed it, never went away, that I was in agony, and I didn't want to give up. I didn't know what to do, and a nurse recommended a nipple shield, which we're still currently using. But then I experienced a lot of guilt about that, and I read a lot about how a lot of people don't actually need a nipple shield, but they use them, and how they shouldn't be used for long-term use and stuff like that. And part of me wishes I just would have sucked it up and just went with the pain and tried to figure out why I was having pain instead of trying the nipple shield. But I don't have regrets. I just, it is what it is, and now I'm trying to wean her off, and it's not easy. But I've definitely learned that breastfeeding is not what I thought it would be. I thought it'd be a walk in the park. And it hasn't been, but thankfully Celia is gaining weight. She has lots of wet diapers and that kind of thing. So she's thriving, so I'm not as worried about it. But I wish I had known how hard it could be, so I could have prepared a little bit more. The second thing I wish I would have known going into motherhood is that it's very hard to get things done with the baby. What I've found is that, our baby is very easy, and in that she doesn't cry a lot, and if she fusses, we usually know why she's fussing. So we have that, but it's also, a newborn loves to be held, especially our baby. She loves to be held. She doesn't like to be put down. So I either am carrying her or I'm wearing her, and carrying her and wearing her, it's still hard to do things like eat, brush my teeth, shower, basic things. I mean, when you're wearing the baby and you're eating, you can drip stuff on them and stuff like that. So it's definitely hard just to do normal daily things, go to the bathroom, that kind of thing that I wasn't expecting. And I didn't know the personality of my baby, and I didn't know, you don't know what you don't know, pretty much. So I wish I would have known that more and not put so much on my plate of things I wanted to get done with the newborn. because really those things aren't that important looking back. Like getting lots of books read and cleaning and that kind of stuff isn't that important. To piggyback off of that, the third thing I wish I would have known going into motherhood is that I'm not even going to care if I get those things done. So I had this long list of things I wanted to get done, and now I've had this like revelation of I don't care about those things anymore. I mean, I care if our house is clean and things like that because it helps me mentally to have a clutter-free brain, but what's more important to me? Spending time with my child who's never going to be this age again, or having a clutter-free brain? Obviously for me, spending time with my precious angel is way more important to me than checking things off my to-do list. So I've had this whole shift that I think is a beautiful shift that I had been waiting for a long time. I've always craved, simplicity and living and not caring about a to-do list, but I just am that kind of person. I like to get things done. So having her has been such a blessing to me in many ways, but especially because now I just want to live and I just want to spend time with her. I want to spend time with my husband. I want to soak up these moments, and I don't care so much about my to-do list. And that's such a blessing that I didn't know I would receive from having a baby, is this whole shift in perspective. So I wish I would have known that, because I wouldn't have put stuff off to maternity leave, but who cares? I have a beautiful baby who's healthy, and I'm happy mama. The fourth thing I wish I would have known going into motherhood is that the baby blues are a real thing, and I would kind of call them baby ups and baby downs, because I've definitely had major ups of where I'm like just bawling in happiness, so grateful for my little precious angel. But I've definitely had times like the lowest of lows that I've ever felt in my life, and it's just mostly hormone and stress related. I mean, we still have a lot going on with, trying to close on our new house, and I'm living with my parents, and we've got our 2 dogs. We're trying to acclimate to the baby, and, one day my car wouldn't start, and I'm just freaking out, and it's winter, so it's stressful to drive anywhere with a baby because I'm worried I'm going to go in the ditch and that kind of thing. So there's been times when I'm just like really upset, and I feel like I'm a horrible mom, and I don't like being a mom sometimes because I just feel like I can't be the best mom for her, but thankfully my hormones switch and I'm happy again, and sometimes I just need to cry it out. But I think new moms need to know, even if you don't get to the level of postpartum depression, there still might be days when you feel awful, and it's not your baby's fault, and it's not your fault. It's just hormones, and it's change, and it's a huge responsibility to take care of a baby and to be up all the time and feeding them and stuff like that. It's just, I wish I would have learned early on to just give myself a break, and give myself some slack, because it's not easy, and I'm doing the best I can. And the fifth thing I wish I had known going into motherhood is that my convictions going into motherhood aren't going to matter as much anymore, and that just surviving, living simply, and enjoying life are going to matter. And what I mean by that is I have these very strong convictions going into birth and motherhood about like using cloth diapers because they're the best, and not using disposables, and breastfeeding because it's what's best for my baby, and having a natural birth, and doing things perfectly because I want to be the best mom ever. I had all these ideas of things I want to do, and I kind of look back and laugh because I really had no idea what any of this stuff would be like. So I've really learned to just let that stuff go. I wanted a natural birth. I didn't get a natural birth, but I'm still happy. I wanted breastfeeding to go well. It didn't go so well at the beginning, but we're making do, we're surviving, we're enjoying life. That's more important than doing breastfeeding the perfect way. And things like cloth diapers, we have cloth diapers. She doesn't fit in them quite yet. They're leaking. So you know what? We're using disposable, and am I going to lose sleep over it? No. So I've definitely learned as a new mom to just let things go. I wish I, looking back, hadn't made these strong, bold statements to myself of you're only a good mom. And I don't mean this towards other people, but I tend to project things out of myself. I won't be a good mom unless I breastfeed, have a natural birth, cloth diaper, and blah, 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 blah. looking back, that's not realistic. You don't know your baby. You don't know what's going to fit your baby. You don't know your body and how it's going to react after birth. I wish I would have just said, these are my goals, but if I don't reach them, I'm still a great mom. I have so much respect now for mothers. And somebody had said to me, you know, now hopefully you've learned that all moms are just doing their best, feeling like they're messing up, but doing their best. And that's so true. And I have such a respect now for moms. And it's not easy, but it's so worth it. I wouldn't trade any minute of it. It's been a struggle, but I've learned, you know, great things come with struggles. It was a struggle to get pregnant with her. It was a struggle to, you know, get into our new house that we're not in yet. But all of it is for a greater cause, and has so many better rewards than what the struggle has been. So those are my 5 things I wish I had known going into motherhood. I would love to hear yours in the comments. I'm sure there's tons of other ones that you wish you would have known as a new mom. And let's just kind of share, and hopefully the comments can just be like added things for pregnant women or people trying to conceive, or, you know, our new moms to learn from and grow, and hopefully they won't have some of the blunders that I did, or they won't feel so bad about them if it happens to them. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching. Boop, boop, ba-doo. Boop, boop, ba-doo. You are so good. You're so good at videos. You're a little movie star.